guitarist Larry Tamanini here with Jazz Guitar Under 5 Minutes, and you just caught me walking through a chorus of a C blues, and I'm here today to talk about making your quarter note strong, man. You know, something I hear a lot of jazz guitar players do is rhythmically reach for stuff. There's no way any of the harmonic stuff is going to sound good if the rhythm stuff isn't happening. And if you don't have a good quarter note, chances are you're not going to have a very good eighth note or a triplet or sixteenths. So let's walk it all the way back to the quarter, right? Because if you're a drummer, you have to have a quarter note pulse. If you're a bass player, you surely need a quarter note pulse. As a rhythm section member, why should not a guitar player have a solid quarter note? You know, we can't all be Freddie Green and Count Basie's band, but having a strong quarter note is a great way to make you a fundamentally sound jazz guitar player. Check it out. So, I played through a C blues, and you pretty much heard me play largely only quarter notes. So, this is really useful in a number of ways because it's going to help you connect chords and, again, strengthen that quarter note. You know, we all talk about time, rhythm, and feel. Well, if you don't have a good quarter note, chances are you're not going to have good feel. And that means you're probably not going to have great time either. So, it's an essential part. Not a lot of people practice their quarter notes either. So, if you're having trouble keeping the form too, and maybe staying attached to the changes, let's just walk it all the way down to those quarter notes, right? So check it out. The first step really is knowing your roots. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to play pedal, pretty much just the roots, right? F sharp. Oops, see, it's tough. And I'm going to my 4, right? There's my turnaround G. Alright, so we don't want to be doing that on a gig, even though that's our first step, okay? Because harmonically, there's nothing going on there, right? And there's so much more we can do. So here's my magic formula, and it's very root-based, right? Important to be root-based too when you're playing quarter notes. I hear a lot of players talk about that they don't want to play a lot of roots. Well, I mean, like, you know, if that's going to be your attitude, you better have exceptional time and feel. I think even the greatest players need one of those life preservers on one, a big root on one every so often. You know I do. But check it out. So, a lot of people say to walk a bass line, all you're going to do is play a root third and fifth, you know, maybe sometimes a seventh. I think that's pretty right on. So, I guess the next step would be like arpeggiating, right? Right? We can kind of hear what's going on here. Now, you heard me kind of break away from those just arpeggios. Now again, arpeggio, really great, but that's kind of like typewriter playing. You kind of go back here, right? And then it's always that kind of like you're going to go up and then you're going to go back. You know, it's like watching that mountain climber game on Price is Right. You know, you just kind of go up and then you go back down, right? We don't want to be a bunch of jazz escalators, okay? So the big step here is finding that out note, that note that's not in the scale. And it's always going to be a half step up or down from the root. So if I were to play here, I'm going to play C, E, G. You hear that right there? So I went C, E, C, F sharp, F, A, C, B, C, E, C, then here I'm going to go C, F sharp, F. Everything I'm approaching from a half step up or down. And it really gives it so much more swing and flow. And again, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to just walk lines. Blues is a great way to start doing this, right? Because you're just dealing with chords that go 1 to 4, and then you have like that 2, 5, 1 turnaround. Like if we're in the key of C, you sort of have. And then, you know, whatever turnaround you want to do. Now, if I wanted to pick like a standard to do this to, it's usually going to be something like Autumn Leaves. And again, that's 2 5s in a major and the relative minor in a key. So that's always good to know. And again, you start out by just maybe getting those roots first. And then you kind of like, can you play the arpeggio? And then can I put it together? And again, you know, just for the sake of this video, I'm going maybe a little faster. What I'd like to do is like slow it down so I can really hear all the notes. That's always the most important one to get, right? And that 8th bar going back to whatever form, you know, whatever one we're going back to. In this case, it's the C minor, you know, the 2. So check it out. That's really, really what you're going to be doing when you're walking a bass line. But, you know, when we can do this, we have to be judicious where we're going to use it. You never want to be the guitar player that's walking a bass line while there's a bass player. That is a violation and a double fine. You will be hearing from the jazz police if you do that for more than one chorus. Come on, guy. When you're playing duo with other guitar players, this is a great tool to have, but maybe not all the time, right? Some of the fun part about playing duo is the space that you can have. But it's really great once you can lock it in with a good solid quarter note. So these are some ways that we can be judicious with the knowledge that we're trying to put together, right? So all right, jazz guitar friends, thanks so much. If you made it this far, I hope you dug the video. It feels great to put some stuff back up. I was on the Jazz Guitar DL, but I got some Tommy John surgery, and I'm ready for the summer. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'll try to put up new content as much as possible. Looking forward to being back. Bebop, keep swinging.